What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Miss Eha, coming live with Journey with Trish, the podcast. I'm so super duper excited to be back in the building for season 4 of the podcast. It's been a minute. We've been out since like the whole July. Much needed sabbatical. But welcome back. Welcome back.
Hey y'all.
I got my girl, Miss Shay, over here with me.
And hello, this is Shamiko. How y'all doing today?
Our second time having Miss Shamiko on this show. It's going to be a really exciting show tonight. Let me go ahead and give you my medical disclaimer. Neither myself, Patricia Reed, aka Miss Eha de Jimenez, Journey with Trish, the podcast, Shamaya, Shamiko, or any affiliates are here to give you any type of medical or psychiatric advice. If you're having any types of those emergencies, I would defer you to your nearest emergency room or contact your own provider because I am not your provider. Tonight, I cannot wait to talk about this. I've been wanting to talk about this topic for a long time.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about dress codes in like different situations. Mainly, I wanted to talk about dress codes as far as interviews, which is why I asked you to come on because you have a lot of managerial history.
Yes, I do.
And so, listen, go ahead and like, comment, follow, tag, share. You know, some young people out there, or some moms of young people, or if as a parent you have any questions, let's go ahead and share so we can get this out to as many people as possible. If you work in management, please chime in, tune in, comment, because we got to do a better job at educating young people when it comes to dress codes, right? And I know that we, like, in this age of, you don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to wear.
You either want me or you don't.
Yes, I think is really causing a ruckus. So as a manager, and the thing is, there are so many different, I have girls who have gone to job interviews. So, and I've been in a supervisor before, so I've interviewed. There is definitely a difference, I would say. And if you were going to interview at, say, a gas station or a McDonald's or a grocery store, as opposed to nursing or, a
attorney firm.
Yeah, it's going to be different. So a lot of you said you worked before at, we're not going to name, you worked before at two major retailers. Yes. So being in that environment, how would you expect people to come to an interview?
Yes, managing. I've been in management for about 20 years, but when someone comes for an interview, I expect for them to be presentable. And what does presentable look like? It looks like clean clothes, clean shirt, men, boys, no sagging, belt pulled up, and just a nice little professional casual shirt, maybe for the ladies. It can be a button down or something like that. Maybe a nice blazer, or, it can be a skirt or a suit. I don't think one's either over the other. And then as far as young men, just, I know I've seen where their shirt is hanging out. It's not all the way buttoned up. I can see their t-shirt, and I can see whatever they're wearing under their pants. So those are just some of the things that I've seen. But I expect when people to come to impress. And I know you were just talking about gas stations, McDonald's, or whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is because you're going to get a job no matter who it was. So you still need to be presentable. Yeah, the job you're going to, you may wear polos all day and khakis, but I still feel like you need to be presentable because you don't know what other opportunity. They might want to hire you for one thing, and how they see you, they may want to hire you for another. So
that makes sense. And I know people that has actually, you go somewhere looking for one particular job and you get, even
a promotion on day one.
Yeah, before you even start, you already get a promotion. My daughter has worked at a water park before, and so when she went for that job interview, she had on jeans and a nice top, so those kind of things I'm okay with. For a young person going to a water park, I don't expect you to wear a suit and tie to go to a water park. Number one, we in Lower Alabama, it's hot. It's hot outside. Yes. So I get that. But there, people are showing up at job interviews in, like you said, t-shirts or sagging or, skin tight clothing. They're like, you can wear even going to a professional setting, I was taught I can wear heels, but I'm not going to wear a stiletto.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you the easiest way for me to remember that was that job interview I went on with the pair. They had to be probably about 5 or 6 inch heels. When you get there and they say let's take a tour,
And you go walking around
and
the
you
building,
walking
yeah.
around in them heels, and you got to fake it like your feet are not hurting, but they really are. So that taught me. I had a nice pair of interview heels that I know will work if
Yes.
they say let's walk.
Yes.
How about you? And you like that's different. How about you? Like what have you experienced as far as interviews?
So I don't know where I learned it, but I was taught at some point to dress according to the position that you are applying to, you know? So like when I worked at restaurants, you know, it's the typical like black long sleeve and black long pants and black shoes. That's what I wore to the interview. When it comes to like healthcare jobs, I wore scrubs because I
That
was
was
taught,
always the most comfortable thing
I
for
love
me.
it, especially healthcare jobs. Scrubs, it's just like I have so many colors to choose from. You can't go wrong, you know.
But I
And
think they do expect you to dress. But I've always, if I'm not gonna lie. Like I always say, oh, well, I'm leaving straight from work. So is it okay if I come in my scrubs? Even if I don't, I'm gonna say that because it's just so much more comfortable just to wear scrubs to an interview.
I'll be honest, I've never made that disclaimer. This is
You
how I
just
want
show
you
up
to
in
see what I'm
scrubs.
going to look like when you hire me.
Yeah.
Hair is going to be done, fingernails are cut, you know, a little bit of lip gloss, you know,
Yeah.
just I don't know. That's just kind of the rule that I've led by. And it's so funny because I had a friend and she was going to a restaurant interview and it was a big disagreement between us. Because I'm like, girl, wear the uniform. And she was like, no, I want to be cute, you know? And it just, you know, went left. So, you know, to each its own. But I do feel like essentially you should definitely be professional.
Yeah.
Be professional. I remember when I was getting ready to start nursing school. You know, I love my nails, and I went to the nail salon I had been going to for years, and I said, well, I gotta take them off. She was like, you take off nails? It's like, yeah, I gotta take them off. No more. I was like, she said, how come? I don't know why we have to do that. Why do we do that? Like talk like they talk. And I was like, because I'm going to nursing school and we can't have nails. And I'm like, dang, I hate this. I'm gonna miss my nails. And she was like, it's okay, no worries. You're gonna make money. You know, she's been doing my nails for all this time. This is money that she's losing. And she was like, no, it's okay. You're gonna make money. You can get nails done later, but you have no idea the amount of like it's still some, you know, CNAs and nurses that walk around with these at the bedside. Why? Because you don't tell me what to do. Never mind what, you know, Joint Commission has said about infection control. It don't matter.
Yeah.
You don't tell me what to do.
Can
when
I
I
talk
come to
about
work.
that when it comes to nails? When my nails are longer, they are cleaner.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But I get why.
you feel like you are intentionally cleaning them more because they are.
No, I mean like when I have shorter nails and like, you know, dirt or debris gets under them, I have to like dig to get that out. But when I have longer nails, I can look under them and they're like clean at all times.
But you know, you can't see.
You
dirt,
can't see.
infection.
But just imagine what you can see. And if I can see it, it's got to be
it.
worse.
This is the kind of excuses nurses come up with to be able to wear. Wear those nails you ain't supposed to wear at the bedside.
Good example. Good
example. So have you ever turned away or have you ever prejudged somebody? Like you saw somebody and you saw what they had on and automatically you was like, you know.
Me, I've interviewed quite a few people in some of the places where I have managed. I've had some young candidates or whatever, and even though they're young, they still need to know. And there has been like maybe young men that I may have interviewed. Maybe they didn't have the suit or the slack button down, but maybe they had on a polo or something like that in a certain pants, and they interviewed well, they qualified, and they were one of like the best employees that I have. And I know we,
they were not the best.
They were the best. And I know sometimes, because even my employees that were there, he didn't even have on this or that, because they're looking. But as I began to do the interview, his experience, and when I tell you he was one of the best investments for the company that
Mhm.
I have. But I mean, I do pay attention to dress, and also we also want to make sure it's clean, snags. You know, when young ladies, I think you said pants, like you said, a suit or a skirt.
Or
Skirt,
wrinkle. Oh,
yeah,
wrinkle.
it
Come in
don't need a
there.
wrinkle. You don't need a wrinkle skirt. We don't have to have fish. Because I had a girl do the fishnet uh thing once before, but I haven't turned anybody away. But I have offered suggestions, and I
Yes.
know once I was in a manager meeting, and we were going. Kind of people were talking about how people, that's one of the biggest issues. People do not know how to dress.
Mhm.
And I know one of those things is and I'm pretty sure you heard, well, everybody doesn't have it, or some people really don't know. And that's why I'm so happy Trish is having this, because some people don't know.
Hmm.
And it's okay to, go to the Goodwill, go to Marshall's, or I'm sure if you have an interview, it's someone in your family, they might have a shirt or a skirt or something you can wear. Or when you get you a little change, invest in you one suit. I know I have about three black suits, black jackets, black
Hmm.
pants, and I specifically bought these items, purchased these items for interviews.
Mhm.
So these like my go-to. I
Hmm.
might wear a different shirt up under it, but we have to invest. And I just tell anybody that's listening, if you don't know what to wear, please ask someone. Don't be afraid to, like, a yard sale, anything. I mean, you can find some good stuff at the Goodwill, and you can get that
Goodwill
till
is
you
like
get something.
trending now.
Yes,
Like
it
that's like a
is.
TikTok
So
thing.
yeah.
I feel like you made a really good point because some people really don't know how to,
Yeah.
where to, what to. You know what I mean? They really don't know. And so I feel like when you asked earlier, like, have you ever turned somebody down? You really could be missing out on one of the best employees
Yes.
there because
Yes.
you judge them by the cover. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
judge them by the cover. So I really appreciate the fact that you said that you gave some suggestions and you talked to them like, hey, thank you for showing up, but in
Mm-hmm.
the future, maybe you can try this and so
Yes.
forth. So that's a,
Yeah.
and then two,
Or have them come back.
yeah,
Or
Yeah.
have them come. Listen, I can't see you today like this, but
Mm-hmm.
I want you to come back as if you were coming to an interview.
Mhm.
And these are some of my suggestions that you should do.
I like that.
Yeah, and then because they're going to do one or two things. They're going to humble themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to come back to that interview, or they're going to lose it on you, at which point you're going to
Yeah.
know you don't want them there anyway, because you
Yeah.
can't even take constructive
Yeah.
criticism.
99% of the time, they will not lose it on you if you get to their level
Mhm.
because
Mm-hmm.
they're not where you are. That's why you're interviewing them in a sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you get to that specific individual's level, they will not lose it on you. I had an instructor in Job Corps, and she purposely got to each student's level. Some it was like, listen, I want you to do this, and they were receptive to it. And then some students, she was like, let me tell you something. You get over here. You know what I'm saying? But those students were receptive to that method. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. I feel like if you, gauge it and feel it and how they say,
You gotta
just
be a
kind
people person, know how to,
Yeah,
you
you
do.
say, vibe with
You
different
do.
people and different personalities.
Mhm.
That's a tool. That's a talent, though. Some
It
people could
is.
just naturally pick up on other people's personalities, and
Yeah.
you, like you said, like I have patients who, I know how to talk to them, when to talk to them. I have girls, and so I do very well. I do not like treating adolescents, but they love me.
They love you.
But they love me. And I think it's just because I relate to them, because I have, girl, I can't say they babies no more, but see, I think it's definitely important. But one of the most important things is, just like Journey with Trish, the podcast, is the foundation we are built on is having those uncomfortable conversations. So while it may be uncomfortable, as a manager, supervisor, whatever, to have that conversation, you are certainly doing them a disservice by not,
Mm-hmm.
because we've already established that people just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, did you? But I know Treasure, and I'm not sure if Chris, but I think she did too. They had like a part of their business classes in high school was actually interviewing. Did you do that in high school?
No.
Okay, I think it may have been an elective course.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be something that everybody, like, it should be a part of, just like economics.
Yeah.
Business should be a part of it.
Not in my time that I remember anyway, but Kristen and Treasures, they have the babies that they take home.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Mhm.
so y'all are teaching how to be a mother and a father,
But
you're
not
doing
teaching
the
me how to
business
get
part
up.
of it.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Like, how we gonna make some money and take care of these kids?
Yeah.
Mm,
We
you're
don't
not
know how
teaching
to
me how to
interview.
go to work. That
And they
makes
may
sense.
have, but I think it should not be an elective. It should be a requirement.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Because you
agree.
do have like government classes where you do the checks and balances and all that good stuff,
Mhm.
right? But if you don't know how to show up to the interview and get the job, what we gonna do?
Yeah, because it could possibly be a part of economics.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
All right, educators out there, principals.
Make it an activity, make it fun. You know,
Yeah.
like a dress down day. Principal, hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
Make it fun. So yeah, I think that's definitely important.
All right, so just to recap that portion of it, we were talking about interviewing and what to wear and what not to wear. I personally, like you said, fishnet nets. I would not wear a fishnet stocking to. I would not think club. If I look like I could be going to a club right now,
Mhm.
it is not what I would wear to an interview anywhere unless I'm going to interview at the club.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
if I were going to interview at a grocery store, I would probably wear, well, as a guy, I would say some khakis and a polo or
Mhm.
whatever. I would never go to a job interview anywhere with a t-shirt on.
No.
I don't care where it is.
No.
As a girl, it's going to be, and it might be some, slacks and a polo shirt,
Mhm.
or like I said, for girls at a water park or something like that, maybe some jeans, not too tight,
Mhm.
not too revealing. I've actually had somebody when I was younger, and I listened. I ain't even gonna lie, I listened to him. Somebody was a recruiter that I
Mhm.
knew. I knew this person personally. He was a recruiter, and I was going to be interviewing for this position somewhere. And the person that would be hiring was a male. And so this person actually told me that I should wear like a skirt, like a short skirt,
Mm.
and I actually did it. I
Wow.
was so naive. I actually did it.
A short skirt.
Yeah, a short skirt. And I still didn't get the job. I was cute.
Short skirt is there.
I was cute, but I still didn't get the job. Yeah, so don't listen. Yeah, you don't
All of that.
don't use your sexuality as a way to get a job either.
Absolutely not.
Keep it professional. Keep it professional. I would like to see us use more professional vernacular when we're interviewing. I personally, like as a nurse and as a supervisor, I managed for a long time in a hospital setting, and we hire CNAs and medical assistants as in behavioral aides that have to document.
Mhm.
I feel like any job that you're hiring for
Mhm.
that is going to include some kind of documentation needs to be some type of writing portion
Yeah.
of the interview. I don't care if it's make them write a paragraph,
Mhm.
something, because when you actually sit down and now I need you to document.
What you're documenting does not demonstrate
Yeah.
what you just did out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just,
I'm taking good notes because
Yes.
take notes.
Yeah.
Even my current job, we have to do a lot of notes, on file. So yeah, and because you want whoever's reviewing those, or even for yourself, you go back and review them, that you understand what you just
What's it?
wrote.
Mhm.
and like with this, because even on social media, when I post the way that I talk on social media. But when I document, or when I'm talking at work, I do not. So if it's something that you can't turn on and off, like I don't want you to be sitting in an interview and LOLing. I filling out applications LMAOing.
Yeah.
I want you to actually write out the words.
Yes.
So I would just say be very careful. And these are conversations that you need to have with your children for sure too. When you're sending your child out for their first interview, yeah, you want to sit down, like even maybe have a mock interview
Yeah.
with your children. Make them dress up like they're getting ready to go to the interview. If they didn't do it at school, okay, mama, daddy, step on up.
Yeah.
Interview them.
I do feel like some personalities will still reject that.
Reject what?
The constructive criticism in a sense. Let me tell you why I say that. So I was working somewhere one time in a healthcare job, and this nurse supervisor at that, when she would walk the hallways, I mean, she was walking like she was just doing whatever. I'm like, what is going on with this lady? And she would talk to the patient. She was loud. In my opinion, she was obnoxious. I feel like she was not very well articulated. I'm like, where did they find this lady from? Right. And so then the partner supervisor was there as well, like two different sides. And she was very well spoken. But the difference between the two is the very well spoken one was probably one of the most poorly driven nurses I had come across. The not so well spoken one was the best nurse and nursing supervisor that I ever worked under. You know what I mean? And so then I started to question myself, because in my mind, how you speak is how you're perceived and how you are viewed and how you are judged and so forth. And I used to think that how you speak is an indication of your intelligence, but essentially it truly is not. You know, it's not. How you speak and how you articulate does not indicate how intelligent you truly are. And I learned that during that experience. And so what I mean is, I feel like if I was to go, or if anybody was to go to her and say, hey, let's tone this down, you know, let's do this and talk this way, you think she's going to? No, because she's gotten such great results for so long, and she knows her stuff.
Being who she is.
She's being who she is.
Yeah.
So should you, you know?
But you think,
is it somebody
you think she interviewed that way?
I don't know. Was somebody complaining, you asked?
Yeah, I was just asked, has anybody complained just about, or they can take it, because I do understand some people can take things the wrong way, and that's just that person.
Yeah, she didn't come off as rude at all.
Okay.
It was more so of just like country, you know, like just country is all get out. You know what I mean? You know, it's just like, just the words were not. And if I'm being honest, I speak differently. When I'm around my cousins, I talk differently than how I talk in an interview. I just feel like how she was talking to her cousins is how she was at work, but she knew her stuff, you know, and I feel like people did respect her for that. So I am definitely like the devil's advocate here.
I mean, because I feel like that part too, but I don't interview that way. Like I interview professionally. But when I'm like, once I get past that, I definitely speak like I speak at home. I'm myself, and I curse. You know, I
don't be cursing in my interviews.
I'm not in interviews.
Okay.
Not in interviews. But once we get past the interviews, I'm not. And I just love my patients. I work with in underserved areas mostly, and they love to curse. Like they don't have no problem cursing. They're gonna describe their way, the way how you feel today, Mr. So and so. Miss Reed, I feel effed up. You know what I'm saying? This is how they just talk, and we vibe that way. Okay, well, explain to me what effed up is. Like, how effed up are you feeling today? We talk like this to each other, but they also relate to me because, like you said, however you need me to talk to you, to get you this medicine that you need to be on to get you well, that's how I'm going to communicate with you, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes it just makes them feel more comfortable. You know, if I got somebody that is in an inner city area in his 20s and I say no cap, oh my gosh, he's all of a sudden he's laid back in the chair. Like he's laid back in the chair. We can really, and they just feel comfortable. So I'm appreciative for that part of it. But I said all that to say, yes, I do think you need to be yourself, but I do think that you need to also be able to read people. I think you got to at least, you know, make it through the interview before you just let your complete self hang out. I just feel that way.
I think you should. I agree. And I think, because I mean, I've Googled, read books. I think it's okay to show just a little personality, not so much of like, the person that's interviewing you, they're not your equal, they're not your homeboy or homegirl. But I do think it's like okay just to show, you know, because when you're interviewing, of course, it's based on how you look, what you speak about, or how your personality, because you don't want to be, I don't know, just monotone, dead or anything.
Like you don't want to be here.
Yeah, you might want to be applying for something that deals with customers or just something that requires you to get out and talk to a lot of people, be around a lot of people, and you don't want to give off like, I don't want to be bothered. So I think it's okay just to show a little glimpse of that personality within the interview. But yes, you know, you go through that interview and this is you, because let's admit we go to different places, different doctors, nurses we have, and some people, they just have their own way of just doing things, and it's absolutely nothing. It might not be written in the book, but they're not doing any wrong. That's just them. It's and making me think because it's a Publix I used to go into on Hillcrest. I think it was on Hillcrest. And this man, every time you go in there, he was like, "How you doing, ma'am?" I mean, you can hear him across the. I mean, but he did this to everyone. It was not a time you went in there. You may didn't see him, but you heard him. And I'm like, that's not everybody, but that is him. That's how he greets the customers. He's walking around. But I'm saying, some people might consider that like country, but it's actually something I look forward to. And then when I hadn't heard it, I'm like, does he still work here? Because I haven't heard them scream out. It's like, how you doing?
And you
like,
miss them when they're gone.
Yes.
They're over at the Sam's. You don't go to Sam's that often, but the Sam's in Daphne, there is a greeter there who is special needs, but he is the coolest. I'm like, he's go. If you walk in the door, he's like, "What's good? How you doing?" Like he talks so he does a very good.
Hey ma'am, you good?
Yeah, he does a very good job.
He is so pleasant.
He is very all the time. So it definitely makes it when you look forward to seeing something, make people miss you. Yeah. When you're not there, I think that's important as well. So I hope y'all got something from that portion of the topic. Yeah, definitely we got to do a better job. And it can be, I'm always going to say schools, churches, community organizations. Treasure was a part of EQB. And for EQB, they had to go to an interview as if they were going dressed. I mean, they had to wear black skirts, white shirts, heels to interview for these organizations, which is the same thing that she'll do, if she pledges in college. So things like that, these different organizations that they have she was also in PCA, Picture Court Association. Same thing. She had to dress up to be able to go and interview for those. So all these organizations are helpful for young people when it comes to teaching them how to interview, how to carry themselves. And listen, you can be who you are once you get in the door. Yeah. Okay.
I had an instructor that used to tell me that you fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you get your first check at least.
Just get in there, because once you
pass them 90 days.
Yeah. Being the real treasure comes out.
Yeah, and I don't think that people are judging you when you don't. Well, people will everybody's not going to be as courteous as Shamiko and give that kind advice. Some people are just going to look at you and not even waste their time interview you, or some people are going to sit there and interview you for 3 hours knowing they're not going to hire you. Just based on what you look like. Yeah. So I'm just saying, whatever you have power of, take control of, and that's something that I feel like you can control.
Be adaptable.
Yeah.
Be able to adapt to any situation that you are presented with. Yeah. Whether you go to McDonald's or what is it, the water parks or the nursing, or wherever you go, be adaptable. One thing that I do pride myself on is being able to adapt to different situations, circumstances, and different people. I want to be able to talk to my cousins and my friends and my bosses. I'm going to hang out with all of them. You know what I mean? So be adaptable. Don't just be the same person all the time, every day. Be able to expand in a sense. Yeah. What did I just say that one time? Expand my horizon.
My horizon.
My little sister was like, I want to expand my horizon. We look like, what? Say it again.
She still says words like not right like that all the time. She's 19. All right. So our next topic is school dress codes, right? This one can be a little touchy-feely sometimes. So students in some schools, Mobile County is in uniform or no?
Yes, they are.
So Mobile County is still in uniform. Baldwin County schools are no longer in uniform, right? Okay. And so there's always some uproar one way or the other. If they wear a uniform or they aren't. Yeah. It's never even a 50-50. It's always just way skewed. Yeah. So well, first you tell me your opinion on which you don't have any children.
I don't have any children.
You don't have any children.
I got two.
You got two?
Okay.
She got two fur babies.
Dogs.
But so you have nieces and nephews that are in school?
I do. I have cousins.
Cousins. Okay. So tell me what your take is on being in uniform versus out of uniform in schools. How do you think it really affects the learning
I
curve?
think the out of uniform. I think Baldwin County or somewhere went to the out of uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the uniform out of uniform, as we were talking about in the interviews, express yourself. You can show your individuality. Things like that, and it can be kind of cool. And I think in uniforms, well, let's say this, out of uniforms, it can be a distraction because it depends on what the person wears, what they're wearing, how they look, what that looks like. As far as Mobile, we're still in uniforms. I think it enhances learning because anybody, I know when I was coming up in school, had some form of bullying or something. When everybody looks alike, you got on the same thing. I mean, what are we really talking about?
Right.
I mean,
that's one less thing to be bullied
that's
about.
one less thing to be bullied about. That's one less thing to worry about, and we not focusing on. Did you see those new shoes such and such have on this or that? Because we really all dress the same.
But see, that was the thing. They never really took it to like the shoes.
Mhm.
They tried so many different things. Like this got to be the white shoes. Can't have this. Can't have. But we were always gonna figure out a way
Yeah.
to go around it. Because you might come in there with some white Converse on.
Yeah.
But then you might have this other. You got $800 Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
Now
Or some $8. I don't think they make these, but some kids.
Some kids or some
All white
kids. So there's still always a way.
Yeah.
Or then it was with the polo shirts.
Mhm.
The logo had to be smaller than a quarter. Okay,
Yeah.
well, polo logo was smaller than a quarter, so now you got people with your polo shirts on versus the people with your Old Navy with no logo. So then you have to go back and say, okay, well, absolutely no. So it was always something in trying to figure out how. I don't think that unless they gotta buy the uniforms from the school.
Yeah.
And private schools, you got to have this exact shoe, you got to have this exact shirt and this exact pants. I don't know how.
I don't think there is. I mean, even with the skirts, right? You have someone who's a lot slimmer, even though their skirt is more than 2 finger breadths above the knee.
Mhm.
It doesn't look like it as compared to someone whose thighs are a lot thicker in a sense.
Mhm.
Like automatically, that thicker person's thighs are going to make that skirt seem so much shorter.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm sorry for interrupting, but this happened so long ago. But the prom dresses, right?
Oh yeah.
The prom dress. The baby that wore the dress, her breasts were exposed in the prom. The dress was beautiful, and the only thing that was revealing about the dress was that the baby was heavy breasted. Had she not have been, there would have been no problem with the dress. And so now here you have me, who I love this dress, but because not me, because I ain't got that problem. But like, I can wear this shirt. I like this dress, and I want to wear this dress to the prom. And I'm gonna buy it because my breast is small. It's gonna be covered. But you love this exact same dress, right? And you can't get it because you got to worry about not getting in the prom because it doesn't fit you
the same way
it fits me.
Yeah.
It's almost body shaming.
I agree. I definitely agree. It's like the controversy on Facebook where there was a teacher. They had like 2 teachers next to each other. And so one teacher was a lot slimmer, didn't have a whole lot of junk in the trunk. And she had pants on that were tighter than my gel nail polish to my fingernail right now. Then you had the second teacher that was sitting next to her who had the same tight pants on, but her junk in the trunk was just outrageous. And so they were just like attacking the second teacher because her bottom was just so, in their words, revealing. And it's like, well, what's the difference? She's got tight pants on, so why can't I wear tight pants? Oh, because my body is different, or my butt is bigger. I can't wear it. You know what I'm saying? So like, why? Like, what's the difference? But I mean, I don't know. I think it's just one of those like double standard things that in human nature,
It's the same thing you were talking about with the kids. I mean, or even her with the the prom dress. I mean, most of the time it's suggested, or I would suggest, I'm not gonna get something not flattering on my body, or if it's something like, I'm just giving you an example. If I have on a dress, or if it's a dress or a skirt, and I got to keep pulling it down, one, I don't need it because I don't want to be pulling it down all day. If it's a shirt or something I have, I got to be watching, make sure my breasts don't come out. Then that's something I don't need. I mean, that's how I think, because I don't want to be bothered with pulling this up and pulling, that down. And I don't think anyone can help as far as their size, is concerned. I think it's about the intent, but we also have some young ladies like you were talking about her, but we also have some small girls, not even in high school, in middle school, that are very shapy, have, big breasts, and things like this. And I think the best the parent, can do is get what fits them. But I mean, you can't help. I mean,
how they're shaped.
And it really, as somebody who's been a bigger girl like my entire life, I know what it's like to want to wear certain things and can't, like, and even like when it comes to body shape, like we might both be a size 14 or 16, but my 14, like you say, ain't the same as your 14. So it's very different. So we do have to be careful as parents, as a community, as outsiders, when we start to comment on things, because sometimes I don't think we recognize the fact that we really are body shaming. And we'll say things like, I can't believe her mama let her walk out the house like that. You know what I'm saying?
I saw a baby one time that had like the shirts that are cut off, like no sleeves, right? Like maybe a year old. It was so cute, right? And then a 6-year-old who just happened to be a little bit more shaped at even 6 years old had the same shirt on, and the internet was dragging her. Ain't no way I let my child walk out the house like that. And it's like, really, what's the difference though?
Because what they're saying, because what I hear is
she looks sexual.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, if both of us have on this same shirt, right? So what I hear is, not that I don't like the dress or that dress doesn't look good. What I hear is, that dress doesn't look good on you.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's where the body shaming. Because can't nobody out there tell me that them prom dresses this year were not, that it was a beautiful, beautiful dress. Baby just happened to be heavy breasted. So what I hear and what some of them may hear is, but it don't look good on you. So you do have to be kind of careful when it comes to that.
Yeah, I agree.
I definitely feel like I'm on the bigger breasted side. So I understand that, because if I'm sitting next to you, and you have on what you have on right now, if I was to wear that, the top part would be sticking out a lot more.
Yeah.
So does it make me more revealing? Yeah. No, it just makes my boobies a whole lot bigger. And I just I'm trying to keep them out. But any left turn, they could just, turn at any moment. So it's just like, and I want to wear what you have on right now. I think it's so cute. I want to wear that. So what am I going to do at 16 years old? Get a breast reduction at 16, or just say, oh, well, you can't wear that. Well, why can't I wear it?
Yeah. So. And I would too, though, say as an individual, become more in tune with your body. Just like you just said a minute ago, like if I feel comfortable and I got to be pulling down, because I remember I went out a couple days ago and I had on this dress. Sometimes you put on things and when you're looking in the mirror, it don't look that short, right? And or what I'm noticing, and I think it just took me 49 years to realize this though. If the dress is a certain size and you put it on and it's knit, right? So when you put it on in the mirror, you're automatically gonna put it on and pull it all the way down. But we don't take into consideration when you start walking it's going to it's going to rise up. So it wasn't until I took a picture later on, I was like, I did not know that dress was that short. And then I felt myself as I'm walking out is the whole time, I'm walking around like this, pulling down this dress. And I think you draw even more attention to yourself that way when you're doing that.
Pulling this. So yeah, I would think in tune, with your body. It's not saying you can't wear stuff. It's just saying, I'm not going to be out. How could I enjoy myself?
If you're not even comfortable with it.
If I'm not comfortable in it, it's not about other people. I don't feel like I don't have time to be pulling this skirt down. This just ain't going to work with that.
I'm definitely guilty. I'm guilty. And in my mind, I will say, girl, you know it's gonna rise up. I'll be like, no, you good.
But you still want to wear it.
Girl, yes.
When
And
it's
I be getting
anyway,
out there like, no, why did I put this on? Oh, not gonna pull it
so
down.
frustrating and aggravating. You can't get up.
Yeah.
Trying to drop it low, and I got to keep it
Gotta
up.
keep- So that we talked a little about students. Let's talk about parents. And I can remember because I've always said like I've been on a weight roller coaster my entire life. So it was one of these particular times I had lost weight, and we were at either Dillard's or Belk or something like that. And here I go to the junior section, because I lost weight, shopping the junior section. He was like, "Mom, what you doing over here?" That's what I said. He's like, what you coming over here for? And I was like, I'm coming to buy me some clothes, some shorts. And she was like, Mom, don't wear this to my school because just because you can fit it don't mean you should wear it. That's exactly what she told me. Kids definitely care how you look when you come to their school.
Yeah, because their friends are gonna be talking about you. That's your mama. That's your mama. Oh,
Yeah.
So yeah, they do care.
I remember when I was going to Glendale, all the way in elementary school, and I remember, like in the 3rd or 4th grade, I'm giving my mom the talk before she comes up. Like I'm telling her, you need to wear that jacket, and it was always I was telling because she was like, yeah, I'm gonna come up to the school, and I would give my mom the talk like, you do not come up here looking any kind of way, because it was one of those things where the parent was going to come in and kind of like observe you in the class. So yeah, I always gave my mama these particular statements. Like, yeah, you represented me, and like you said, the kids are gonna be talking. Who mama was that? That was her having that bunny or that? My mama never came up in no house shoes, no house coat, no rollers, none of that. She had on makeup, jewelry, and she was looking like you need to be presentable. And I'm not saying any parent, anybody has to do that. I'm just saying, hey.
Yeah, I don't think you should jump in the car line in the morning in your night clothes because you'll never know. Little Johnny got in trouble the day before, and now they wanted to get you out. I have got calls out the car line before to come in the office. Miss Reed, your mom pulling over there and come on inside because we tried to call you last night, but Treasure kept answering the phone. So you might get called out to come inside the office. So yeah, go looking preventable. I think you should treat the school like any other professional setting.
I was gonna say it definitely goes back to the the job etiquette and stuff.
I was just gonna say
you can sit here. I mean, I know we were talking earlier all day long. You can say be yourself, wear what you want to wear, do what you want to do. But you have to take into consideration the consequences, for a better word, that comes with you being yourself at all times. Because essentially there is a time and place for everything. And
for you to be that particular self.
Yeah, that self. And I don't know why it is, but a bonnet or pajamas or whatever, it makes me feel like, did you brush your teeth before you came up here? Yeah. What's your hair looking like? Do you have lotion on your heel?
We got the cute little bands right now to keep your lace down. Yeah. So I don't mind you keeping your band on. You keep your little lace front band on, but take off the bonnet. Go on your kid baby school. Don't pull up because in the car line is the same thing. They see you. They see you in the car line. So just look like, it was important enough for you to get up this morning and get dressed and take your baby on to school. And like, just like your grandma said, make sure you got on clean panties. If you ain't gonna have no clean panties on, don't have on no panties. I'd rather no panties than dirty panties.
Or you never know who you. It is crazy. We're just talking about dress, and I'm thinking about my great grandmother, my grandmother's mother, and I remember when she would come to town, take a shower and everything, and she would get fully dressed, heels and everything. And I would say, Mama Ruth, where are we going? She said, I'm going to the front room to watch TV. But
fully dressed.
But the thing was, what I learned from her is just to look like something. I mean, she would do this, and she'd be in town to visit, but she's just watching TV, and she has a full out outfit. I'm talking the stockings, y'all. This old school, the stockings and everything, and the slack pants. And it just taught one to have some get up and go. And I'm not saying I was just saying how I gave my mom to talk about the makeup and all that. We're not saying you have to do that, but you're a representation, of your child. And I think still touching back on what she said about the interviews and the etiquettes. People model kind of what they see. We don't want them coming nowhere with no bonnet, no do rag, or anything like that. And you just don't know who you may.
That's the thing. That is, oh, girl, you said a mouthful. Then who are you gonna run into? Because I ain't gonna sit here and hold you. I done been to Dollar General, Walmart, Publix, thinking to myself, Lord, I got this bonnet on. All I need is some toothpaste. I ran out.
You're gonna run into somebody every time.
Every time. Now, if I'm cute, I won't see nobody I know. But
Never.
the one time that my t-shirt is too small, they be like, "Hey, Shemaya," I'm ignoring them.
I have turned around. Recently, I turned around and stopped. Started trying to walk the other way and had my wig on. I needed a haircut, and it wasn't. It was Miss Hydra. Hi, Miss Hydra.
Was that you? No. Yeah. She's right. You never run into anyone when you look at
You don't. I'm talking about what they call a bust down black. It'd be cute in the grocery store.
Yeah.
I'm looking for somebody I know. You see me? No, don't see nobody I know. Let me be in Dollar General looking for some dog food.
And my kid's aunt Vivian, she when she would come to the house sometimes, I'm like, Vivian, where you going? I'm going to the doctor. It's like, that's how you going? She's like, yeah, I always try to dress up. Like, she is going to get up and get super dressed up to go to the doctor. So I'm like, I respect it. When you go out, you should be presentable.
Yeah. And not even in a sense, we're talking about avoiding who you know, but you never know who you can meet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody out there can just take, how you look, how you present and carry yourself.
How you carry yourself.
They can take you to a whole nother level, and you take that for what you want to take it for. It can really change your life if you carry yourself.
Which is like on the podcast, I always ask everybody, come looking presentable when you come. Yeah. Because I already know, when Charlamagne finally see this podcast, y'all might be the ones that's sitting on the chair with me.
Right.
So I just want to make sure if the podcast finally lands in the right hands, we gonna all, be fly.
Yeah.
So we casual sometimes, but for the most part, we always come dressed pretty, professional. Yeah. All right, so that was Please Don't Wear Your Bonnet. Happy school year. Wishing all the kids a great school year and all the parents a great school year. And everybody's going to look presentable, whether you're in uniform or out of uniform, and have those great personalities and let them shine through. Let's start talking about these cookouts and family reunions and Christmas and Thanksgiving. All that stuff is getting ready to come up. I'm sick of it. Somebody got to talk about it. Why not me?
Talk about it, girl. What's on your mind, sis?
To-go plates.
To-go plates.
To-go plates. Some people drive around with to-go plates in their car.
Oh what? No, I did not know that.
Some people will come with, they come with their styrofoam or Tupperware to pack their to-go stuff just in case you don't got no to-go plates.
Y'all doing too much now.
But it's true. It's true. We've talked about this before because you used to get upset with me. You was like, Ma, I don't know why you have to do that and make a big deal. I was like, I'm not making a big deal. She was like, well, you got all this food. I'm like, and it's not that I mind people taking some food. Mm-hmm. It's just, sometimes people don't even sometimes take into consideration, maybe I don't want to cook no more this week. I cooked all this food. That means I'm tired now, and I got to eat for the rest of the week too. Mm-hmm. So before you go out without asking, come to my house or my event without asking me, and you now fixing enough food for you and your family for the rest of the week.
And your cousin.
Can you make sure
it's not even going to be here till Saturday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make sure I don't want to keep what I have. Not only will people take to-go plates, they'll take sodas. They'll take 4 and 5, 6 sodas. Sodas ain't going bad that quick.
They haven't ate their food and they're already. First, that's another thing. Can you get your plate and sit down and eat
and enjoy the food?
How are you fixing a to-go plate and you haven't?
Mm-hmm. And some people really, and that's the thing that I think bothers me in a sense. Some people are not coming to mingle and spend time with the family.
Just coming to
eat. Give me a plate, Mm-hmm. So I don't really like that because I know I be wanting to just go to certain people's house and get a plate too, right? Mm-hmm. But my goodness, spend some time with them. And I'm not even coming to your house if I don't want to spend no time with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how good your food is. If I'm not rocking with you like that, I ain't coming to get no food. I'll just go to Waffle House for the night. It's not that serious. But I agree. Some people will literally come to get to go plates for
Mhm.
themselves, they baby daddy, they 3 kids at home, and their cousin is gonna be here on Tuesday.
And most of the time, I cook so much, I really don't mind. But there has to be in my home. There's going to be some level
It's some
of
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that cooks on these, holidays, but from my experience, when you cook, right, macaroni, red rice, it's a given. Don't touch it. I tell you all the time, just put a little bit out at a time, because what happens is, in my opinion, those are the ones that go the quickest, right? And so when I see them fixing to go plates
before like you might not get off work till 7,
right,
right?
and I'm like, Mama, why you ain't saving no food? And you're like, I didn't even know it was all going yet.
Yeah.
But then I look at on Snapchat and I see,
next Thursday, people still eating red rice.
and all I had was the corner of it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
that's
not
crazy.
right.
It's not fair.
I know. So for some of you, nobody has told y'all, but it's not okay. It's not okay. At least let everybody eat first, and then let whoever's event it is, whoever's home it is, make sure they've given you permission. Because most people, like I said, want you to go, or ask. I've asked when I've gone to, somebody's house and Shamika, you have something, we go, and Chris or Shemaya didn't come or something. Well, I probably wouldn't ask for my child, but Chris was at work. Do you mind if I take Chris' plate? Because I don't feel like cooking. Most of the time, they gonna say
no.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't. Yeah, you don't mind, but yeah, I think give permission. Just, I hate to use the word, but just don't be so doggish. I mean, sometimes we act like we ain't never, had none. Because really, if you're that hungry, you can actually stop by somewhere. I mean, I'm just saying,
if you are that hungry,
if you are that hungry that you have to fix 7 plates or things. Because I've seen that at various events, at homegoing services. It's really just. I don't have any word. It's really just
tacky.
Tacky, yeah.
It's
I
tacky.
don't know the word for it, but
I can recall having one of my kids' birthday parties, and I bought chicken and ribs by the cases. I always have. So, we didn't realize that I think they had already I think I had pre-boiled some chicken, and it was like in a cooler or something. So after they did this one batch of chicken, there were people who had already packed up to go place, and they were getting ready to go. But when I realized this, oh my gosh, I got all this chicken. These people put their stuff down and sat back down
to wait for the rest of it to get done.
wait for the rest of the chicken to get done.
Yeah,
it's tacky.
I think I might feel a little bit better if people were more willing to contribute some. But when you think about how much money you spend on all of that food,
that's why I stopped. Don't ask. If you ask me to come and bring something to your event, it's not going to be macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
That's the most expensive dish on there. It's not. You tell her to bring a case of sodas, but you told me to bring a macaroni and cheese. No.
Yeah.
How about you tell her to send me a donation, and you help me buy the stuff for the macaroni and cheese, and then I'll make the macaroni and cheese.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, just feeding 5 people is a lot of money. But just imagine a full family for Thanksgiving, all the relatives. That's a lot of money.
And the cost, and I think that is the thing too, like the cost. If everything is going up, food is expensive, and that's the stuff we're not. And even with family, I mean, you have to contribute. Like my mom, everybody loves her greens, and I don't know where she get this big old pot. I ain't never done no pot that big that she cooks greens for like everybody in the family. They just want greens and ham hock. But she'll say, okay, but you send me your $20, you send me this, and I'm gonna I'm gonna put it together. But yes, food costs.
If somebody asks you to donate towards some food, do not turn up your lip, because food is
a lot
expensive.
I went and bought some chicken wings the other day, just 1 case of chicken wings, and not case pack, because case sounds big. It wasn't that big. $27. I've been eating half a wing every day. My goodness,
seriously. Or like cakes. Like people make cakes, and I used to think, $50 for a red velvet. Yeah, 50, if not more, for a red velvet cake. Because if you go out and you buy the ingredients yourself, especially if you don't have none of it and you gotta go buy the ingredients,
it's $39.
to
And
make the
give them
cake.
$11 for this gas money because the labor is free at this point. So,
Seriously. So yeah, they have to charge that way. They make a red velvet cake and it's a good cake and it's $50-$60 going to give them that money. It's worth it. It's really worth it because you're gonna pay half of that at Publix and it's not gonna taste like they making.
Yeah.
Go on and give them that money. Y'all stop complaining because food is high.
It is.
Food is high. So I just wanted to I had to speak on that absolutely 100. I don't know what you're talking about. That's my sister-in-law Shay.
Let me ask you this.
Ask what about to-go plates?
To go.
Go ahead. I'm
cooking. How do you feel about people not staying around or sticking around to help you clean up?
Don't.
All right.
I know I don't mind. I thought you were going to say cooking because I got a problem with the people like my kids wanting me to cook all this stuff, but y'all don't want to spend no quality. Mama learn how to cook. You just want to show up at mama's house when the food is already ready. I have every year I say I'm not cooking. I'm not cooking this year. I do it, but I'm not cooking because y'all don't want to help.
In my defense, I really want to be there.
You don't be.
I'm so tired.
Because you be working. Okay, I get that.
I'm tired.
But yeah, I do think people should stay. It is so much work being the host house for anything.
Yeah.
For anything. But I mean, that part I've never really had. Yeah, my family's always, they're gonna stay and help clean. I ain't never had nobody.
Yeah.
But now it's the putting the food up part.
Mm-hmm.
That, which Chris was always great at that. I don't know how he made all that stuff
fit
just how it needed
in the refrigerator.
And when I would go in the next day and get leftovers, I'm like shoving it in there.
Trying to get it back in there. I'm like, I don't know how he made this happen. So that was another, I had this, I still gotta learn how to not cook so much because I done scared everybody off from asking for a plate now.
Yeah.
So now I got all this food left over and I'm begging people, hey, come get a plate. Come get a plate. But I don't mind. Like I literally probably have enough food to feed the homeless left over because I just cook way too much.
I feel like you did really good one time. Was it the last time? Recently. You had some food left over.
I always have food left over.
You did, but I feel like you definitely purposely tried to not
to scale back
Yeah.
some. That was probably this past year.
And I was disappointed. The red rice was gone too quick. I wanted it for like a whole week out. But
yeah, I mean, and then you end up throwing stuff away though.
That's true too.
Yeah,
that's true.
So, but yeah, so we want to feed you. We want you to take it. We just don't want. I at least want you to be respectful, courteous. Be courteous enough to let everybody get a plate, and keep in mind that just because we've started eating don't mean everybody's coming. And don't in your mind think, oh, if they should have been here, they're not on time. Again, maybe they're coming from work. Maybe I already know I got 40 more people. Also, Thanksgiving, how people come in waves sometime, you got this crew that come from 2 to 4, then they got to leave and go to the other person's house. Then you got somebody coming to your house because they just left somewhere else. So just because they ain't there when you start eating don't mean they're not coming. So don't go and just start packing up all the groceries. And don't bring your own Tupperware. Don't bring, if they don't have plates in aluminum foil, that means ain't for you to take. We're going to take a plate, put the food on it. We're going to take another plate, put that on top of it. We're going to put it in a bag and try to tie the cook.
Why do y'all know that? Why do we know that?
We'll do all of that trying to take some food home. I buy a whole bag of to-go plates for any event because I want people to be able to take things home. I just don't like, number one, when you just automatically think it's okay, and when you don't allow all of my guests to eat before you start packing up stuff. But that's just me. That's just me.
Some common courtesy.
Yeah, and it's my house, it's my home, so I'm going to address it. And you don't get to come and tell me I'm rude or disrespectful, because how can I be that rude and disrespectful in my own house about setting boundaries? These are my rules. Yeah, so you can't really say I'm being, disrespectful. But if you keep doing it and doing it, at some point, we get a little bit more. Yeah. But anyway, anybody else want to add anything about any topic tonight?
I think that sums it
I
up.
think that's good.
Common courtesy.
Common
Yeah,
courtesy.
common courtesy.
Every how does the saying go? Every action causes a
A
reaction.
reaction.
You know, so just think about what we said earlier with in terms of your etiquette, your
Mhm.
verbiage, your diction, your conversation, your dialogue. You know
Mhm.
how you carry yourself, how you represent, all that good
All
stuff.
that is
You
representation.
You can do what you want to
Yeah.
do. No one is sitting here telling you don't do this and don't do that. But understand
You
that
might not do it here.
yeah, and if you choose to, you might not be here. You know, it's just kind of what comes with that. So yeah. And start pitching in. You know, y'all want to have
Yeah.
these great events and this food and stuff. Pitch in.
Send a cash out.
Send
to
a cash
somebody.
out.
Yeah.
But
Drop
you-
something off other than the ice and the drink.
Yeah, be equally yoked at these
Yes.
events.
Yeah.
You know, plan ahead of time. And when somebody call and ask and they start these group messages and chats, answer, respond. If you really don't have it, we get that if you don't have it. But most of the people that don't participate and only bring sodas can bring more than sodas.
Mhm.
So maybe if you can't cook, you know, maybe you are the person that brings the supplies, but don't just let it be spoons.
Yeah.
You know, because a box of Sam spoons gonna cost you almost $20. So you get the spoons, the plates, and the napkins,
And
and
the plastic cups.
and the to-go plates.
Yeah.
You bring all that's
There
your
you go.
list of stuff. But maybe we do it like we do name pulling.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I like
You know,
that.
Yeah.
do it like
What
we do
somebody
name
supposed to
pulling.
bring.
Yeah, but and we also put like a max. You can't spend. You
No
got to
more
spend
than-
at least this and
Yeah.
not more than this.
Okay.
And that way, that's a great idea.
That actually
like it.
is.
That way, we're all spending kind of an equal amount of money.
Yeah.
To have this event, this good party.
I agree.
I think that. I like that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. Now that we figured out ways to keep us from falling out as we approach the holiday seasons. What's next? Labor Day.
Yeah.
Labor Day's next.
I
right?
think it's it is
Yeah,
Labor Day.
Labor Day's
Yeah.
next.
September, yeah.
All right. So y'all enjoy your Labor Day. Somebody bring me a plate. I'll still be here and I won't be cooking. So somebody bring me some good Labor
You're
Day
not cooking?
Yeah, I won't be able to cook.
Oh.
All right. All right. They're ready to pray. Our hearts and
Yes.
minds are clear. Father God, in the name of Jesus, God, we thank you for bringing us back out to the studio for Journey with Trish, the podcast. Thank you for blessing the show. Thank you for blessing me with two amazing guests tonight who are always very knowledgeable on the topics that they speak on. God, I ask you to continue to pour into them and to bless them exceedingly and abundantly above all they could ask or think. God, we ask the same for DJ Tech as he keeps trekking over here to help a sister out on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. for Journey with Trish, the podcast, Central Standard Time. Continue to be a blessing to the show as we are here on the Gulf Coast and as we venture out to new horizons. God, we ask you to continue to cover us each as we go from here to home. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Oh, they do it. City.
You gonna love